an absolutely brutal loss. 32nd one-run loss, walked off by the ultimate villain today. I guess you could say Ian Happ and Carson Kelly were the villains on hanging slider by Brevia with 2 outs in the 10th, and then the meatball curveball by Pierce Johnson in the 8th. I don't know why Snicker tried the toothpaste lid thing, tried to squeeze another out or inning out of Strider. It was a battle for him today. He was able to give 5 innings, give up 3 runs because he gave up the fisted single to Ian Happ to start the 6th. You got to give Hunter Stratton a clean inning, up 4. And there was a lot of brutal non-strike calls that should have been called, and I usually say it was bad for both sides, but it seemed significantly terrible for the Braves. And yes, we couldn't execute and didn't execute very well, but there was some brutal stuff for Hunter Stratton. The 2-strike bunt single on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball by Pete Crow Armstrong, and then the meatball fastball to Dansby Swanson on a 2-0 count. You can't leave a fastball there to Swanson, so made it 6-4. And then I have no idea why Pierce Johnson changed his pattern, because he's a curveball guru. He changed his pattern until Ian Happ got a soft-fisted single, and then he was able to strike out Nico Horner on 3 beautifully placed curveballs. And then to Carson Kelly, he went fastball and cutters and got an automatic ball, and a cutter didn't seem comfortable. Got it to 3-2, and then went to the get me over, need a strike, don't want to walk him 3-2 curveball, and he laced it for the game-tying 2-run blast. Don't get me wrong, there was some brutal at-bats. We couldn't figure out Aaron Savali. And against Keller in the 9th, we got back-to-back 2-out walks. And Michael Harris had a first half. Michael Harris at bat. But it was back-to-back 2-out walks after Brad Keller looked absolutely locked in against Acuna and Olsen. So that's the double-edged sword there. So it's unfortunate. But then we couldn't execute in the 10th. Nacho sacrifice. Fraley took a foul ball off the toe and then struck out on a down and in slider, and Marcell Ozuna struck out. And then Brevia was able to get 2 outs. But the hanging slider to Kelly with, I believe it was 0-0 count. So just a lot of death by 1,000 cuts, plus the in the 4th, Strider gave up a solo blast, Ian Happ, but it should have been a strikeout, and so that changes that as well. We took advantage of some shoddy defense by the Cubs, a 2-run RBI single by Money Mike in the 3rd, and then a 3-run 5th, a 2-run double by Money Mike, and RBI double by Nacho Alvarez, but we could not hold it, couldn't get the finisher, and the Cubs had some pesky at-bats, but man, this was a brutal 2025 loss if I've ever seen one, and it's just, if it ain't one thing, it's another. The offense coming up clutch, and then the pitching faltering. Strider battled. It wasn't great, his stuff, but he was good enough for us to win. We just didn't get the big outs when we needed to. As always, go Braves. Champions forever. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Helps out a lot. Thanks, guys.